Good evening. Dan Fitzpatrick here at StockMarketMentor.com on August 29th. That's a Thursday. By the way, just so you know, if you're on the free list, members already know this, I will not be around next week. So after this one, the next email you get will be the week after next. Listen, I actually want to talk about Groupon, but I first wanted to mention this. Okay, the S&P 500 is in this drift like this. Okay, so it's forming. If you've been watching Kramer on Mad Money at all the last couple of weeks, he's mentioned, featured my work. And I just want to explain this just in case. I respect this trend line here, the support trend line. As such, I see this is a buying opportunity, not a selling opportunity, not a forecast of lower lows to come or anything like that. What I was discussing with Jim was the fact that this volatility squeeze did not lead to this. Instead, it rolled over, blew through the 50-day moving average, came up, was not able to regain it, and is now on its way down. And I would look at like 1560, bad line here, but 1560, probably even a bit higher, as a probable bounce point to the S&P 500. One of the things that I mentioned was this higher high here did not confirm this trend line. We often see this in stocks that ultimately do this, or at least do this. Okay, so the way I'm looking at this right now is the biggest concern from a bullish standpoint is how much upside is there to stocks right now. And we got a lot of broken charts. Look at IBM. Members, I'll cover that in a minute. But we got a lot of broken charts, and so my view is as the market moves higher, we're going to see some increased selling. You know about a lot of worries and things like that that's happening with Syria, the sequester, fester, whatever it is, and the budget and this and that. Everybody's worried about everything. So that's a bit of an issue, but the thing is, a lot of that stuff's already being factored in. So for me, this is really more of a mechanical thing than anything else. At the end of the day, or at the beginning of the day if you're trading at the open, what really matters is the Fed still has its foot on the gas. Interest rates are still low enough to where bonds really aren't particularly worth owning. So investors are still kind of piling into money. I mean, they're piling into stocks. They're putting their money into stocks. And until that changes, and it's not going to really change anytime soon, I don't think, there is going to be an upward pressure on the market. So just keep that in mind, that the thing that really concerns me, I'll say it again in a very succinct way, the thing that really concerns me from a risk management standpoint, which is how I trade, which is probably why I don't do as well as some people when we've got like a raging bull market, because I'm like a little risk averse, but then it's also why I tend to do a heck of a lot better than most people when the market's bad. I'll take that any day. The point is, what I'm concerned about here is how much upside is there versus how much downside. Well, it all depends on your time frame and your opinion. I would say if you're a short-term trader, draw this line in the sand right here. We got a ton of stocks that you can be buying on short-term bounces as long as you have a tight stop and you have reasonable expectations. Don't look for that. Just look for this. Then you sell it and take your money and run, move on to the next thing. So what I really wanted to talk about was Groupon here. And the reason is this stock is in a pretty nice, well-defined uptrend. There's really no weakness showing here. And other than this and this, the 50-day moving average is held. This has regained this most times. And we've got a nice move right along the 20-day moving average or the middle Bollinger Band. So I would look at Groupon as something that you want to own pretty much right here, right now. As long as I would start with a fairly small position and then just kind of build it up gradually as you can raise your stop. But as long as the stock stays above the 20-day moving average, I think this is good to go. Okay, members over to the strategy session. There are a lot of folks who requested tickers, and so I got about 30 of them for you. So let's get over there.